What if the walls you walked past each day held secrets that echoed through time? What if every creak of the floorboards or whisper of the wind carried with it the tales of those who once lived there, some of them never having left? Welcome to the world of the most haunted houses, where history and mystery intertwine to create an impact that bypasses logic and settles right in the pit of your stomach. For those of you who dare to stay with us, prepare for chills, surprises, and perhaps a newfound curiosity about what lies behind the doors of the long-forgotten. Today, we will journey to some of the most infamous haunted houses around the globe. These are not mere anecdotal tales spun inside ghost story forums. They are places steeped in history, laden with spectral sightings, and punctuated by unexplainable phenomenon. You might wonder, what makes these locations so chillingly captivating? What stories of sorrow, despair, or unfinished business haunt their hallowed halls? And, more importantly, will you close your eyes tighter as we navigate through this eerie landscape? Trust us, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Let's start our haunting odyssey in America, at the notorious Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. Picture this, a sprawling Victorian mansion with over 160 rooms, staircases that lead nowhere, and doorways that open into walls. Surreal, right? This labyrinthine structure was the brainchild of Sarah Winchester, widow of firearms magnate William Wirt Winchester. After losing her husband and child, Sarah was told by a medium that she must continually build the house to appease the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles. Failing to do so would bring her untimely doom. As you'd expect, this decree turned into an obsession. For 38 years, Sarah oversaw the construction of her enigmatic home, resulting in a bizarre architectural wonder filled with misaligned doors and ceilings. Visitors have reported not just the sensation of being watched but outright apparitions appearing in reflective glass and fireplaces. Isn't it fascinating to consider how a person's grief could manifest in the physical world, influencing a living space into an otherworldly labyrinth? As you digest this story, you might be pondering, is the Winchester Mystery House a testament to one woman's torment, or merely a creative architectural endeavor gone awry? Hold on to that thought, because the next chapters will only deepen your intrigue. Now let's journey across the Atlantic to England, where we encounter the haunting halls of the notoriously eerie Borley Rectory. Once dubbed the most haunted house in England, this Victorian rectory has captivated ghost hunters and paranormal enthusiasts for decades. The house was the site of numerous ghostly occurrences, from phantom footsteps to mysterious lights, and even the famous Lady in White. The story goes that the rectory was built on the grounds of a former monastery, where a tragic love story unfolded. Legend has it that a monk fell deeply in love with a nun, but their love was forbidden, leading to a dramatic conclusion. It's said that their spirits have never left, wandering the walls of Borley, reliving their tragic fate. Here's something you didn't expect. Even after the rectory was destroyed by fire in 1939, the hauntings did not cease. Isn't it perplexing how a place can retain echoes of its past, transcending what we consider physical boundaries? What is it about certain locations that seem to cling to sorrow and loss, allowing past inhabitants to return for an eternity? Now, those were just two examples, teasing the extensive allure of haunted locales. But let's not get too comfortable. There are countless other abodes with spectral ties. Consider the LaLaurie Mansion in New Orleans, once owned by the infamous socialite Madame Delphine LaLaurie. After her cruel and sadistic treatment of her enslaved workers came to light, a fire broke out in the mansion, leading to the discovery of the horrors that occurred within. The spirits of those who suffered still roam its halls, not seeking vengeance but perhaps desperately wishing to be remembered. Just imagine the sheer energy of grief and pain absorbed by the walls of this mansion. It's unsettling to think of how such acts could haunt a location long after those directly involved have passed on. Could it be that locations become repositories for the emotions they've witnessed? And if you think that's chilling, let's journey to the equally frightening world of the infamous Amityville house in New York. This unassuming suburban home became infamous after a brutal mass murder, with the Lutz family claiming to experience supernatural phenomena soon after moving in. From disturbing voices to unexplained odors, the horror they experienced became a sensational story that has perpetuated for decades. You might then question, what happens to a house after tragic events transpire within? Is it irrevocably marked by the violence it sheltered? Now ask yourself, does the very soul of the home absorb the emotions of its inhabitants, creating a chilling energy that can affect future residents? Or is it simply the weight of the tragic history that bends our perception of reality? These are the questions we grapple with as we explore the intricate interplay of the living and the spectral. What if I told you that some hauntings seem to reverberate more vividly depending on the history of the location? Our next stop will further draw you into this enigma as we uncover the dark past of the Red House in Wisconsin. Once home to a family who endured tragedy within its walls, it is now said to host the spirits of those who experienced unspeakable sorrow. Reports of inexplicable sounds like crying and whispers have been documented by countless visitors. You might be wondering, what drives spirits to cling to particular locations? Is there a message they wish to convey, or are they caught in the web of their sorrow, unable to grasp the fullness of their demise? The haunting stories bubble to the surface like the unsettling brew of a horror tale, pulling at our very human curiosity about mortality and the afterlife. As our journey continues, let's traverse to the heart of an abandoned asylum, the infamous Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia. This structure illustrates the dark chapter of mental health in America, housing thousands of patients throughout its tumultuous history. The anguish experienced by those within the walls has fostered lingering energy, with ghostly encounters reported from shadowy figures to feelings of overwhelming despair. What's unsettling is the sheer number of people who met tragic fates within this institution, which raises a compelling question: do the souls of those who suffered never find rest? Is there something inherently cursed about places that held so much pain? As we slip further into the shadows of our narrative, here's something you might not know: folklore often shapes our perception of haunted locations. Consider the Bell Witch Cave in Tennessee, believed to host a vengeful spirit that terrorized the Bell family in the early 19th century. This place offers an intersection of local legend and historical truth. Bursting with stories of witchcraft, the cave continues to draw the curious, providing a perfect blend of fact and myth that makes it an alluring destination for thrill seekers. Will you still believe the conventional explanations if the paranormal narratives shape your understanding of history? How do we discern reality from rumor? These riddles bind our thought processes around haunted locations, emphasizing our unending fascination with the unknown. But wait, there's more. A haunting tale awaits in the form of the Riddle House in Palm Beach, Florida. Once a funeral home, this historic building is now said to be haunted by the spirit of the previous caretaker, who allegedly was murdered on the premises. Sounds, such as footsteps and laughter, plague visitors, challenging anyone who dares enter its desolate halls. What's so remarkably intriguing here is how the essence of a person can linger long after their corporeal presence has vanished. Imagine the shared history, the emotional imprint left behind where souls once thrived. It begs the question, are we all but echoes of our past experiences, striving to leave our mark on the world? As the threads of our haunted journey come together, let us visit the ancient Pelisar Castle in Romania, often linked with the infamous Dracula. This castle, steeped in myths and dark stories, draws in thousands of visitors each year, hungry for the eerie tales that sway around its stone walls. What is it about this fusion of history and legend that enthralls us, making us hunger for both the truth and the shadows cast by imaginative storytelling? As we begin to navigate our way toward the climax of our ghostly exploration, consider how each of these locations we've discussed not only houses chilling stories but also serves as a mirror reflecting our innate curiosity about death, loss, and the unknown. Could it be that in exploring the fear of the spectral, we are merely seeking to understand the complexities of our existence? Stay tuned, for the most breathtaking tales and findings are yet to come. What you think you know may only scratch the surface of understanding the essence of these haunted places. Every shadow and chill could be a whisper of something more, something deeply profound. Join me in the second part of this exploration, where we will journey into even deeper mysteries, revealing the stories that keep us awake at night and spark wonder in our hearts. The otherworldly awaits, do not dare look away. As our exploration deepens and we delve into the realm of the unexplainable, let's next retreat to the haunting expanse of the Whaley House in San Diego, California. This historic site embodies the swirling vortex of ghostly narratives and tragic history, standing proudly as a testament to its tumultuous past. The Whaley family, who once called this house their home, dealt with unbearable loss, the deaths of their eldest son, Thomas, and later, a series of misfortunes that would plague the family for generations. Witnesses of this Victorian Gothic structure have shared spine-tingling accounts of ghostly figures, unexplained sounds, and intense feelings of sorrow as they wander its rooms. Some claim that the spirit of Thomas himself lingers, perhaps in search of solace in a place that's steeped in memories both warm and dark. Isn't it captivating, the way that houses can encapsulate so much emotion, joy, sadness, and everything in between? What draws us to the spaces filled with such heavy histories? Is it an intrinsic need to remember those who came before us, or merely an urge to feel the weight of their experiences for ourselves? Every creak in the floorboards of the Whaley House echoes the past, inviting ghost hunters and curiosity seekers alike to confront both fear and fascination. Next, we step onto the windswept grounds of the notorious Château de Brissac in France. Perched majestically in the Loire Valley, this majestic castle is the site of a haunting that combines tragic romance with lifetimes of intrigue. It was here that the spirit of the Green Lady, regarded as the spirit of Charlotte, is said to wander. Charlotte was murdered by her husband, who discovered her in the throes of an affair. The tale goes that her heartbroken husband couldn't bear to let her memory fade, and she remains trapped in the castle, adorned in her green dress, wandering its corridors in an eternal search for peace. Visitors often report seeing her apparition and feeling a chill in the air at the very spot where her life was so brutally cut short. What is it about love lost and betrayal that generates such poignant hauntings? Perhaps it's the power of unfulfilled love, a thread that ties eternity to the traumas experienced by those who felt wronged. Could it be that hearts, once entangled in this earthly existence, transcend physical separation, creating a unique bond that endures beyond the grave? As we drift further afield in our haunting journey, let's pause at the iconic Ballygally Castle in Northern Ireland. Dating back to the 17th century, this castle is said to be haunted by the spirit of Lady Isabel, who faced an unhappy marriage and, tragically, a violent end. Legend has it that she was imprisoned by her husband in a tower, where she ultimately met her demise. Today, visitors often feel her presence, many claiming to hear her soft sobs resonating through the ancient stone walls. The tragedy of Lady Isabel's story brings to light the often overlooked narratives of women throughout history, expressions of grief and sorrow that echo through the ages. Wouldn't it be fascinating to ponder whether certain places of pain became nurturing grounds for these lingering spirits, making them a part of the very fabric of the house itself? Our travels now lead us to the ominous ruins of the Castle of Good Hope in Cape Town, South Africa. This 17th century fortress serves as a historical museum but is also a haven for hauntings. Among its many spectral occupants is the ghost of a former soldier who fell to his death during construction. People who dare delve into this austere site claim to feel his melancholic presence, often encountering disembodied footsteps echoing in the lonely halls. Moreover, the soul of Lady Anne Barnard, a contemporary of the early colonial era, is said to walk the corridors as well. She was known for her vivacious spirit, but in the wake of her departure from this life, she brings an air of nostalgia and grace. It's intriguing to think about how these spirits symbolize the spirits of their historic lives intertwined with the natural ebb and flow of time, once vibrant, now an echo of something that remains unresolved. As we continue to explore haunted locales, we find ourselves at the Jenny Wade House in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. this humble dwelling gained notoriety as the only civilian home to witness a fatality during the Battle of Gettysburg in the Civil War. Jenny Wade's tragic fate unfolded as she was struck by a stray bullet while baking bread for Union soldiers. Visitors to Jenny Wade House report feelings of sudden coldness, the smell of fresh bread, and even the sensation of being touched. Though maintaining her humanity, Jenny's spirit is said to carry the burden of her untimely passing, leaving behind a powerful energy that resonates through her home. One can't help but marvel at how certain locations magnify ordinary lives into extraordinary tales of resilience and lingering presence. Next, we venture into the world of American folklore in the form of the notoriously mysterious Moon River Brewing Company in Savannah, Georgia. Once a hotel and then transformed into a brewery, this locality is synonymous with disturbing occurrences and unexplainable phenomena. Staff and patrons alike have shared anecdotal experiences of encounters with ghostly children, apparitions winking by antique mirrors, and ghostly whispers pervading the air surrounding the original hotel's foyer. The stories surrounding the Moon River Brewing Company illustrate how a place can morph into a crucial part of communal identity, leading one to wonder, do our narratives contribute to the haunting energy of these locations? In urban spaces rich with history, common beliefs often shape how spectral experiences unfold. Could it be that our interpretations of these events mold not only our perceptions of reality but the spirits themselves? Finally, as we draw near the close of our haunting expedition, let's turn our attention to the infamous Lizzie Borden house in Fall River, Massachusetts. This residence is forever entwined with the notorious murders of Andrew and Abby Borden, attributed to their daughter Lizzie, who stood trial yet was acquitted. The varied accounts of what transpired that fateful morning only fuel the ongoing intrigue and speculation surrounding this historic location. Believers and skeptics gather at the site where the gruesome events unfolded, seeking answers mixed with a cathartic dash of fear. Shadowy figures, unexplained sounds, and feelings of unease have been reported within these walls. Lizzie's ghost also makes appearances in local lore, her spectral story entwined with the grislies of her past. What does the consciousness of a location reveal about trauma observed through time? Does Lizzie embody the complexity of human emotions, from guilt to sorrow, and echo them through history? As we ponder whether ghosts are merely the manifestations of unresolved feelings, the house begs us to reconcile that all complex stories can leave a legacy of lingering spirits, refusing to be forgotten. As we conclude our chilling exploration into these haunted locales, a nuanced understanding emerges. These places are not merely repositories of ghostly stories, but rich tapestries woven from the threads of human emotion, joy, pain, and loss. Each haunted locale serves as a poignant reminder of the lives that shaped them and the lingering echoes of unfulfilled destinies. In solving these mysteries, we equip ourselves with deeper insights into our own human experiences, exploring the intricate dance we share with the spectral realm. As fear and fascination intertwine, we find ourselves captivated by these enigmatic tales, compelling us to engage with the richness of history intertwined with the supernatural. So, dear travelers, the next time you find yourself standing before the imposing facade of a haunted house, let your thoughts wander beyond the specters that dwell within. Engage with the emotional fabric of its history and cherish the stories that flutter through like whispers in the wind. For in the realm of the haunted, we not only confront our own mortality but also delve into the innate human pursuit of connection, one that transcends the grave, pulling us ever closer to the eternal mystery of existence itself. Thank you for accompanying us on this haunting journey. Did we manage to stir your curiosity about the spectral whispers of history? Can you hear it? The echoes of the past await, and they invite you to discover the secrets they hold. As you leave here today, remember that every story holds fragments of truth, imprinted within the walls, ready to speak to those who dare to listen. The world of hauntings is not merely about fear, it's an invitation to reflect, to explore, and to understand. Until we meet again on another spectral voyage, keep your eyes open and your heart attuned to the mysteries waiting in the shadows. Remember, the eerie is often just a heartbeat away.